the chicken pita wraps. He ordered multiple orders of that, multiple orders of ice cream, pizza.
I like the kid was just probably going down the menu.
Pressing any button he sees.
Dude, why do you let your kids just play with your phone? Like, that's his fault.
Well, and it sounds like he's copping to that. He's like, I must have left the app open.
Like, there's kids that have, like, kids are not like how we were when we were kids. They know their way through a phone at a very, very young age. Like, they know what apps are. I would be freaked out. I'm like, I had a calculator, and I was trying to, like, spell stupid things on it, like with the numbers. Yeah, stuff like that. That's as far as I went.
But it also, this is a 6-year-old. I have a 6-year-old. Also depends on how much screen time your kid gets. So if this kid is really familiar with things like phones, some kids will pick up a phone or a tablet. They don't know what the hell's going on. I think those kids are getting more and more rare. But there are a lot of kids that don't have much screen time at all. This kid, clearly, now the guy had to call his bank. They figured it all out. What sucks is the restaurant who goes, hey, we got $1,000 worth of food going out the door. And then all the money gets marked as fraudulent or whatever. Yeah, keep your phone. Listen, I'd rather have this than the kid who goes, hey, my dad's gun. I mean, $1,000 worth of food is one thing. You'd think somebody, listen, if you're a Grubhub person, you're not asking questions. You're just delivering the food, hoping to get tips, whatever. But by the time like the third or fourth guy has come by within an hour, from what sounds like the same place. Because a restaurant's not going to call you either. Hey, did you order $1,000 from us? Because it's been a slow day otherwise. And now we're getting all these orders in quick succession. But he got his money back.
I'm surprised the bank just didn't tell him to eat it. Like, literally. Like, it wasn't fraud. It came from your card.
Yeah, but they mark him as
your negligence.
But anytime there's a kid involved, I think you call your bank and say, can you mark these as fraudulent? And that's what they'll do. You know, you hear about these kids.
But you can't return the food, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The restaurants who get screwed. But when you see these kids who order tons of in-app purchases on games, like mom was playing Candy Crush and left it open. And now the kid, you know, the guy gets his Visa card and it's got $2,000 in, you know, League of Legends coin. I don't even know what these dumb games are anymore. But
yeah, Candy Crush is one of them. I mean,
there you go. That is a genius move to get people to spend real money on fake money. It really is the beginnings of Bitcoin. Are these in-app purchases?
It's the more effective version of it.
That's right. It's the in-app purchases, the micro transactions in these games.
My niece this is a few years ago now, I had a Priceline on my phone, and I was like looking at hotels to book for an out-of-town gig or whatever. My niece was playing around on my phone on YouTube or something, and for however she did it, she ended up going into Priceline, and I had a hotel like up that I was looking at, and she booked it. And I got this email that was like, your upcoming stay to wherever, and I called them. I called the hotel, and I was like, hey, my niece was on my phone. I didn't mean to book this. Like, I need to cancel this reservation. And the hotel was like, oh, you booked through Priceline, so you have to call them. And I called Priceline, and they were like, oh, yeah, well, you did it through the...
It's such a runaround.
Oh, it's such a runaround. But I was like, but you guys don't understand. I didn't book this. Like, my niece accidentally got on the app and booked it. And they're like, yeah, well, we have a no cancellation policy and a no refund policy. So go to North Carolina, I guess.
I get that like travel apps are convenient, but I almost always book through the hotel.
You should.
Because if you get to the hotel and anything's wrong, they go, you got it on Expedia.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
And Expedia says, sorry, talk to the hotel.
Yep.
It's, yeah. If that's one
There's
thing
a
I've
dozen
learned,
contractors between the point of purchase and the hotel you're going to.
that's one thing I've learned is just, it doesn't really matter what brand, just pick one and stay with it. If you always go Marriott, go Marriott.
Yeah, you get their point. I get Hilton points. Yeah.
Pick one and always book through them because they're a lot more likely to help you out.
Yup.
Like, oh, hey, I've been booking with you guys for however long.
We
blah,
booked
blah.
our spring break trip, and I'm like, just book all through. I'm like, go to the websites, book through them. Don't go through, they'll lure you in with like deals and stuff. But if anything goes wrong, you're on your own.
Yeah, so I ended up paying for 2 nights of a hotel in North Carolina, and I was like, I'm in Ohio. Like, I'm
You didn't even
gonna...
go just to use the.
I couldn't. It was like a Thursday, Friday, or something like that. I was like, I'm like at work. There's nothing I can do.
Where
about
are you
this.
going? I'm going to North Carolina. I have a hotel there. My niece booked it. I don't.
There's a Days Inn with my name on it.
Yes.
So,
She's my new agent.
right.
Auntie Mare, I got you. Sorry about the hotel. I got you a gig while you're there.
Yeah, right.
It's the back corner of a B-dubs.
Perfect.
You got to bring your own tabletop amp.
I got one you can borrow.
Thank you. The lighting sounds.
Right. Bill sent me something of, I'll show you this video here. Set this up for me.
All right, so this is it's a video where a bride is about to throw the bouquet,
Mm-hmm.
and then she just turns around and like beelines to one lady, one of her bridesmaids, hands her the bouquet, and then her boyfriend swoops in, takes a knee, and proposes to her right there at her friend's wedding, which has gotten this video a ton of hate.
So when you're watching this here on the live stream, it says she had no idea. They're talking about the bridesmaid had no idea. The bride is in on it.
The bride is in on it.
Yeah.
She starts the whole thing off.
Where's the sound? Oop. Why has everybody hate
Because
this?
the people are going nuts. They're like,
You're taking
you
attention
should
away."
never propose.
You
to
should never do that
someone."
if you
Yeah.
don't inform the bride and
Right.
groom.
The
It's still
bride's
kind
in
of-
on it.
It's still kind of a rule, though.
But
Like,
she's-
it's their day. They spent coming from someone who does weddings. They spend thousands of dollars for one night of attention.
I understand. What I'm saying is what sucks is when somebody does that and they don't inform anyone and they turn it into all about them. But if they go to the bride and they go, hey, could I do this? It's still, I think, bad form. But she was in on it.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
obviously agreed
This is
to it.
this is the best version of that, but I'm still kind of with Poundcake.
Yeah,
on
I know.
because just
I just asked for one night.
Yeah.
Like, do it. Matter of fact, wait till we leave the hotel room and you could do it or wait till we leave the reception hall and you could do it in the hotel room. Everyone's going to be paired up and booed up anyways.
Because you're hitching on to someone else's wagon.
Right.
Yeah,
It's less work for you to do because everybody's already paying attention to it. How would MC Wettings
Handle that?
handle that? Would you be back there going, oh, my God?
would
What
you try and
do?
talk them out of it? Like,
No.
don't do this.
No, I think
Bruh,
it would
bad
be
idea.
It would be a great opportunity to go viral for sure.
Would Cody, or just because of how you feel about it, you just distract everyone? Like someone's getting ready to propose, and Cody's like, "And the bar is now open.
Yeah.
Everybody, go get food." Like,
I
trying to-
probably hop in between. I'm like, oh my God, for me? I'm like, I'd just stick my
I've
hand
always
up.
wanted to turn down a proposal.
Yeah, no, I can't
What,
do this.
bitch?
I was like, because that's poor form at someone else's wedding. But it's okay. I still love you anyways. But think about that. You're gonna be. They got the cameras rolling, kids running around. You're gonna be in someone else's wedding video, proposing to someone else, and they're like, oh yeah, remember when Cheryl and Bob stole the show?
So Cheryl and Bob.
Yeah, that looked like a Cheryl and Bob.
Yeah. So people are just angry just to be angry.
Well, I mean,
Because if they're in on it, then
If
like
they're
you
in on
said,
it,
it's the
yeah.
best version of that.
it's the best version of it, but I still think it's something you go, we'll do this at a different event.
I think proposals shouldn't happen on any event day at all. Like, I am not a fan of proposals on holidays. I'm not a
You
fan.
like it at a sports event.
I know. I mean,
a hockey
You wanna be
game
on the jumbotron and
Here's
get
the thing.
proposed to?
where she's wearing a huge jersey.
if that's your guys' thing, like you both are die-hard hockey fans and that's your thing that you do together, then sure, that's fitting for you as a
What if
couple.
this girl loves being a bridesmaid and this was their thing? This was their kink.
Sure, that's an extenuating circumstance. But like people who get engaged on Christmas or Thanksgiving, I'm like, just let it be Christmas. Why can't you propose on a different day?
Okay, I'm not against that. I'm not against that just because that is a gathering. It's a
I feel like
holy
it's
day.
a cop-out.
It's not a cop out.
It is. I didn't think of anything else, so here you go.
No, because for people who have like families that are long distance, like they're far away, they don't visit that often. It's the one time where people get together. If they needed that, because you don't want to tell everyone like, "Hey, I'm proposing. Make sure you be here." But if they're coming in anyways for the holiday, I'm okay with that.
But the
Not
proposal
weddings,
doesn't
though.
have
It
to
doesn't
be
have to have
in
a
front.
show.
Yeah, it doesn't have to have an audience. It can really just be between
Whatever
the
you
two
guys do.
people. And so I know there's some people that are like, they want everybody there for the big reaction, and then like immediately.
You know,
But I mean, if you do it on Christmas, Christmas is all about that proposal for the rest of the night. At that wedding, that's later in the wedding. So from that moment on, everyone's gonna be talking about that. So yeah. I'm kind of with Mary on this one, where it's like make it its own thing, because again, you don't really need an audience for a proposal if you're really in love.
I like I know, but I like the idea of a public proposal.
Says
just
the
because
divorce guy.
Yeah, right.
I like the idea of a public proposal, but now that I'm older, and I just think about all the things. It just seems so embarrassing. Not because you gotta confess your love and you really gotta sell it.
But also,
whether you're on the receiving end or the proposing end, like. If you do something wrong or if you forget what you're going to say.
You realize that when people are in love, they aren't really concerned about selling it, right? They're not
I
trying to
hope you don't have to
convince
sell.
someone.
That's the whole point of a public
Wow, I
proposal.
really believed him when he said he wanted her to spend the rest of his life with him. Some people also, you have to keep in mind that even though they're having a wedding with a bunch of people, they don't take it that seriously, the bride and groom. Like, they get their friends together and have a good time, but it's not the be-all, end-all of their entire lives either. So they can kind of...
That's a fair point.
They can play around with it and go, listen, you guys are all our friends. We're happy for you, you know.
I bet there were some older people that had some things to say about it. Like,
of course.
I can't believe they did that. I paid $20,000 for this wedding, and then they just take it away.
You're correct, but a lot of times...
$50 a plate, and this is what I get?
A lot of times it's the bride and groom's families. Like, it's the mom and dad, because those are the ones who are like, this is my girl's special day. Like, you couldn't wait another day. You couldn't wait till Wednesday.
Yeah, but there's a lot of grown-ass people that are paying for their own wedding. I mean, it's not 1955 where, you know, neither that bride didn't look like she was 21 years old.
Sure.
But there's also,
tab.
even with someone else paying, like if you're paying for your own wedding, there's still a lot of mothers and aunts and stuff like that have a lot to say about how it all goes.
Yeah.
You know, they just weigh in even though they're not asked.
Okay, so...
And they want it their certain way.
Would you ever want to get married on your birthday? Like, say
No,
if your birthday...
you better not get proposed to,
That's what I'm
married
talking
on your
about.
birthday. Let your birthday be your birthday.
Because you always remember if something goes
Dudes
south.
do that so they don't forget.
That's a big pet peeve of
we
mine.
got married on Valentine's Day
That's
or something
a
like that.
huge pet peeve
It's
of
like,
mine.
dude, you already know all the holidays. You can't fit one more day into your memory.
But proposing to is not your anniversary.
No, I mean the day they get married. People
Oh,
are like,
yeah,
we
no.
got married on Christmas, so I'd never forget.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I think you should get proposed to on a random day, like a Tuesday afternoon.
April 14th.
Sure, when it's just no one's suspecting it.
So anybody that proposed on this Groundhog's Day, you messed up.
You booked it on a holiday, like an idiot.
A friend of mine, he proposed to his wife. He likes to troll. We had like a Harry Potter marathon one night. Like, he was a cool guy, and he trolled his wife because he took her up to, like, they went on a hike, which he doesn't hike. So she's like, oh, I know this is the moment. I know he's gonna propose. And when he finally was gonna pop the question, he was like, will you? And he dropped onto his knee. He was like, wait for me to tie my shoe. And just like tied his shoe. And she was like, ha ha, very funny. And then like he went on about the day and didn't do anything and proposed to her later on in the day.
That's like a viral video where a guy bends
Yeah.
down and the girl freaks out and he's just tying his shoe. He's like,
What?
What did you think of?
I wish there were more like real public proposals rejections, because usually they'll do
I
it
want
at
to
a
see one
sport
in
game,
person.
but it's always like a bit. It's always
I don't have fun with viral videos anymore because I'm like, there's a reason this is being filmed.
Right.
I don't believe any of this.
Right.
There's one that's going around again, and they're like, what did this guy do? And it's somebody down the sidewalk, and there's a guy and his girlfriend that are eating outside at a table at a restaurant like Al Fresco or whatever. And the girl is yelling at the guy, and he's just like sitting there, looks like a regular bro. He's sitting there. The person filming is probably like 100 yards away. And this girl is throwing her arms up and gesticulating wildly. And you're expected to believe she's yelling at him. I'm like, first of all, even if you got a crazy chick on the hook, she's not doing that. She's like camera ready, freaking out at the guy. I'm like, this is clearly staged. This isn't a person sitting next to them surreptitiously filming over their shoulder or, they're in frame. You can't hear anything.
Yeah.
It's just her throwing her arms. It's no fun.
well.
I want to see real, life
those real
that
fights-
somebody,
Those real fights at like restaurants like that always happen, I feel like kind of muted, where like you are sitting right next to them and she'll be like, I cannot believe you're bringing this up again. I really, truly, we've talked about this. This is the end of discussion. He's like, what if I don't want it to be the end of the discussion?
But you
know
can
what I mean?
always tell that those are true. I think
That's
if you're,
what I mean.
Yeah, if you're really tuned in by now, I think most people can tell when it's two people acting.
There was a girl flipping
People
out.
aren't good actors.
Yeah,
No
there's-
matter how many selfies of themselves they take.
There's a girl flipping out on a flight because her boyfriend broke up with her mid-flight.
I think that was fake too. She was
You think-
screaming
like,
and yelling.
but I don't think you do that.
Why
on a
would he
plane,
break
just-
up with her mid-flight?
I don't know. But-
Well, here's the thing, though, is that if you guys are going at it, you're already stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
You're traveling together. This guy's probably had it in his mind for a while.
You don't do it on the flight though.
And
You
then
wait till you go.
she's pushing your buttons, pushing your buttons, and he's just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I
You're an
literally can't
adult.
do this
You
anymore.
wait till you deplane and then you tell her to hit the bricks.
Yep.
When we get home, your crap better be on the lawn. I'm throwing your crap. I guess it couldn't be on the lawn by the time they got back. Imagine you hire somebody. Hey, while we're gone, put all her crap on the lawn. So when we pull up, she'll get the message, just not from me. Alan, what if, when Mary's casino ban ends,
Oh, God.
Brian proposes to her at a slot machine?
God, that would be the saddest thing ever.
Wouldn't it?
Would you
Is
say
that
yes?
romantic?
No, that's not romantic.
What's your idea?
Because that would mean that in his mind, that was the perfect place for you to get proposed to. Oh, she's going to love this.
Well, because it's like, yeah, I enjoy gambling, but it's also been one of the saddest places I've been. Where I've been at that.
But what if it
same
was
slot
by one
machine
of those slot
crying.
machine YouTubers that you love?
I made Brian watch a slot machine YouTuber yesterday, and the guy
You'd have to.
responded. It was like the guy whose channel it was like, this is hilarious. Because Brian is like, this is the dumbest thing I have ever watched in my entire life. But
Honey,
How
will
long
you
did
be
you make him
my
watch?
will you be my loosest slots for
oh
the rest of
God,
my life, honey?
Diamond.
Yeah.
Forever.
Will you be my progressive winner?
My ideal thing would just be something easy and romantic. That's probably just the two of us, just doing something that we like to do, whether we're at dinner or out at the park or just very chill, not at a comedy show, not on a holiday.
I
a
proposed
random
at
day.
2:30 in the morning in Paris. We had been drinking absinthe. I didn't have a ring. It was completely spontaneous. I did.
There you go.
I stepped out. I didn't plan on doing it. Everybody thought we were going to Paris for me. I said nope, we were not. And I stepped out to call her dad first. That was the only half second of even mild preparation. And there were like, again, it was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. We were the only people in there, maybe a couple of people in the back. That was about it. I wouldn't even, because my first wife, we were both on the same radio station, and I proposed to her on the air.
Dude, that's
Which
like
is
the
super lame.
equivalent of getting
But again,
proposed to at a
this was like
comedy show.
1997, and she knew it was coming, so it was like, I don't know. It was almost expected of me to do it that way. But I did not, clearly that did not portend success.
You got out of your chair and then got down on one knee, and you're like, wait, the listeners didn't hear that. Will you know?
Well, no, she was on the morning show, and I was doing the afternoon show, and I came in. I had set it up with her co-hosts. And so I came in, and she's like, what are you doing here? And, like, she didn't know, but they knew.
Yeah.
But it was just, I mean, I'm sure in retrospect it sounded fine. I mean, the audience loved it. But again, that was, I don't know. It seemed like I didn't have a better idea. I'm like,
No,
what am
I
I going to
get
do?
it.
Go up in a hot air balloon? Like,
No,
we're
you
on the
should've,
radio,
like,
for Christ's sake.
Been a window washer and held a sign out.
We were on the first floor.
Oh.
It was one of those
Window
one of those radio
washer.
stations. It's in an old ranch house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's real old.
So I would have just walked up from the parking lot and
Yeah.
started washing the window.
It'd be like how Brian can do it here. He can just walk up and bang on the window and be
He's
like,
got a cardboard sign.
Hey, you want to do
He stole
this?
it from a homeless person and just flipped it over. He
wrote-
shows the wrong side, and it's like anything helps. Fair change.
Why lie? Just want to get engaged.
Every little bit helps. Veteran, homeless, free hugs.
Like, well, aren't you supposed to be at work, or is this you telling me you lost your job?
Proposes on the back of his garbage truck.
Yeah, no, mine would be like, probably a picnic or something, like by the water. I want to be proposed to by the water.
What about 9/11? Because then you would.
Okay.
Never forget. I have got to take a break. Hey, if you want $1,000, I will have another keyword for you at 3:30 to go fund yourself. After this break, I want to go see the Cleveland Monsters on Valentine's Day. How about that? The Rochester Americans are in town. I'll get you 4 tickets for that game coming back.
This is the Alan Cox Show.
Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or